I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, July the 18th, 2016. Two Israeli soldiers were lightly injured in a stabbing attack this morning in the West Bank. The incident took place north of Hebron in the area of Al-Arub, where the soldiers were on patrol when they were approached by a Palestinian man who stabbed them with a screwdriver. One of the injured soldiers was able to shoot the terrorist, who sustained serious injuries and was evacuated to Shaarei Tzedek Medical Center in Jerusalem. The two wounded soldiers were taken to Hadassah Hospital Ein Kerem, also in Jerusalem. And a Palestinian man was arrested yesterday for an attempted terror attack in Jerusalem. He was waiting near the Jaffa Road light rail station, where he raised the suspicion of an Israeli security guard who stopped the man to check his bag, in which several pipe bombs and knives were found. Police sappers were deployed to the area, and the road, which is a main thoroughfare in the city, was temporarily closed off, as was the adjacent King George Street. Israeli media reported that the Palestinian was a resident of Beit Ula near Hebron in the West Bank and was in his 20s. Jerusalem Mayor Nir Barkat praised the alertness of the light rail security guard for averting what could have been a major attack. Barkat said, "Our message to the public is to return to their normal routines, to remain vigilant, and to never give in to terror." And the IDF yesterday evening fired two Patriot air missiles at a drone which entered Israeli airspace in the Golan Heights. The missiles, however, missed their target, and the IDF said the unmanned aircraft returned to Syria. The IDF was still investigating the exact source of the drone, whether it was sent by terror group Hezbollah. Israel's Olympic and Paralympic teams met with Israel's President Reuven Rivlin for an official send-off before departing for Brazil to compete in the 2016 Games in Rio. The Paralympic Games will take place 2 weeks after the end of the Olympic Games. Its delegation includes 30 athletes, both Jews and Arabs. The Israeli Olympic team has 47 athletes, Israel's largest Olympic delegation to date. The president expressed his pride and confidence in both delegations to represent Israel proudly and bring home medals. Jewish filmmaker Hector Babenco has died. Babenco was born in Argentina, but as a young man made Brazil his home and was one of the country's most influential directors. He is best known for the 1985 film Kiss of the Spider Woman, for which he was nominated for an Academy Award. Babenco died of a heart attack in Sao Paulo at the age of 70. The House Foreign Affairs Committee approved a bill to honor the life and work of Elie Wiesel. Democratic Congressman Steve Israel of New York, Republican Congressman Patrick Meehan of Pennsylvania, and Democratic Congressman Ted Deutsch of Florida introduced the bipartisan resolution earlier this month. Wiesel died on July the 2nd at the age of 87. Congressman Israel called the Nobel laureate, author, and Holocaust survivor, quote, "one of the greatest examples of good the world has ever seen." The bill memorializes Wiesel's life and work and reaffirms the commitment of Congress to, quote, "continue his work of keeping the memory and lessons of the Holocaust alive and preventing similar atrocities from occurring in the future." And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS. And for this week, JBS presents exclusive television coverage of the 2016 Global Forum of the American Jewish Committee in Washington, D.C. And we begin tonight, Monday, July the 18th at 7 o'clock, with the opening address of the forum by author and journalist Yossi Klein Halevi of the Shalom Hartman Institute, who talks about challenges to Israel's legitimacy. At 7:30, The Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg, Council on Foreign Relations President Richard Haass, and Politico's Julia Yaffe talk about geopolitical trends and their implications for the Jewish community at the forum. And at 8 o'clock, Israeli Ambassador to the United Nations Dani Danon and the American Jewish Committee's CEO David Harris discuss the challenges and opportunities that Israel faces in the international arena. In other programming tonight at 9 o'clock, Mark Golub sits down with Rabbi Avi Weiss of the Hebrew Institute of Riverdale, who recalls the challenges and heroes of the Soviet Jewry movement on L'chaim. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, David Makovsky of the Washington Institute for Near East Policy discusses the implications of the recent meeting between Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Egypt's Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry. That's with Mark Golub on tonight's In the News. And that's the JBS News Update from Monday, July the 18th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader.